Hello, hello, English learners. Welcome back to another episode of the English Leap podcast. This is the podcast where we take the stress out of learning English and replace it with real, natural conversations. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Tom. It is fantastic to be here with you all today. Whether you are driving to work, washing the dishes, or taking a walk, we are happy you chose to spend your time with us.
So, Tom, before we jump into our big topic today, we have to do our little check-in. How has your week been?
Oh, Sarah, it has been a week of learning lessons the hard way. Do you remember I told you I wanted to start baking?
Yes, the cake adventure. Please tell me it went better than last time. No rocks this time?
Well, not rocks, but maybe bricks. I tried to bake sourdough bread. I watched a video on YouTube and it looked so easy. The man in the video did it in 10 minutes, so I thought, I can do that.
Uh-oh, I think I know where this is going. Real life is never like YouTube, is it?
Never. I mixed everything, I put it in the oven, and I waited. But I was impatient. I kept opening the oven door to check on it every 5 minutes.
Is it done? Is it done? Tom, you let all the heat out.
I know that now. The bread collapsed. It was flat and sad. And my wife said, Tom, baking needs patience. You cannot rush the process.
She is a wise woman. And honestly, Tom, that flat bread is actually a perfect metaphor for learning English.
It really is. That's why I wanted to share that story. Because today we are talking about the most important secret in language learning. It's not grammar, it's not vocabulary lists, it is consistency.
Consistency. It's a big word, but the meaning is simple. It means showing up every day. It means not opening the oven door every 5 minutes to see if you are fluent yet.
Exactly. But before we dive deep, Sarah, we have a small favor to ask our listeners.
Yes, if you enjoy our conversations and they help you practice your listening, please take 1 second to like this episode and subscribe to our channel.
It really helps us grow the community and reach more learners like you. Okay, small talk finished. Let's talk about the all or nothing problem.
The all or nothing problem. I think many of our listeners know this feeling. It's when you say, I will study English for 2 hours every day. You do it on Monday, you do it on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, you are tired.
And because you're tired, you skip Wednesday. Then you feel guilty, you feel bad, so you skip Thursday, and by Friday, you quit. You think, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all.
It's like joining a gym in January. We see this every year. The gym is full in the first week of January. By February, empty.
Why do we do this to ourselves, Sarah? Why do we think we need to suffer to learn?
I think we confuse intensity with consistency. We think if we run very fast, we will get there sooner. But learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. If you sprint at the beginning, you will collapse, just like your bread, Tom.
Don't remind me about the bread. Okay, so we agree that consistency is better than intensity. But how? How can our listeners actually stay consistent when life is busy?
We have prepared 4 powerful tips for you today. These are practical steps you can use immediately. Tom, kick us off with tip number 1.
All right, tip number 1, the 2-minute rule.
I love this rule. It changed my life when I was learning Spanish. Can you explain it?
Sure. The hardest part of doing anything is starting. It's not the running that is hard, it is putting on your shoes. It's not the studying that is hard, it is opening the book.
So true. The friction is at the start.
The 2-minute rule says, on days when I don't want to study, I will do it for just 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes? But Tom, surely you can't learn anything in 2 minutes.
That's not the point. The point is to master the habit of showing up. If you study for 2 minutes, you become the type of person who studies every day. You keep the streak alive.
And usually, what happens after 2 minutes?
Magic happens. Once you open the book or play the podcast, your brain says, oh, this isn't so bad, and you usually continue for 10 or 20 minutes.
Exactly. You trick your brain. It's easier to say yes to 2 minutes than yes to 1 hour.
So listeners, your goal isn't to be perfect. Your goal is just 2 minutes, even on your worst day.
Okay, let's move to tip number 2. This one is called habit stacking.
Habit stacking. This sounds like building a tower with blocks.
Kind of. Imagine your day is full of habits you already have. You brush your teeth, you make coffee, you drive to work, you take a shower. These are strong habits. They're like strong pillars.
Okay, I have those habits. I never forget to brush my teeth.
Great. Habit stacking means you take your new habit, English, and you stack it on top of an old habit. The formula is after I, old habit, I will, new habit.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. After I pour my morning coffee, I will read one news headline in English.
I see. So the coffee is the trigger. You don't need to remember to study. The coffee reminds you.
Exactly. Or, after I get into my car, I will turn on an English podcast.
I like that because it removes the decision. You don't have to think, when should I study today? It just happens automatically in the car.
Yes, it creates a rhythm. My personal stack is, while I wash the dishes at night, I listen to an audiobook. Now if I wash dishes in silence, it feels weird.
That is when you know you have built a habit. When not doing it feels strange.
Okay, Tom, let's talk about motivation. What happens when motivation dies? Because motivation always dies, Tom.
It does. Motivation is like a feeling. It comes and goes like the weather. You cannot rely on it. That brings us to tip number 3. Don't break the chain.
This is also called the Seinfeld strategy, right? From the comedian Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes, he said the way to write good jokes is to write every day. He had a big wall calendar. Every day he wrote a joke, he put a big red X on that day.
And after a few days, you have a line of red X's, a chain.
Right, and your only job is don't break the chain. When you look at the calendar and see you have done 10 days in a row, you don't want to see a blank space. It pushes you to do the work.
It makes it a game. It is visual satisfaction.
But Sarah, I have a question. What if I get sick, or what if I have an emergency and I really cannot study? The chain breaks. Then I feel like a failure.
That is a dangerous moment. If you miss one day, don't worry. But the rule is never miss twice.
Never miss twice. I like that.
Missing one day is an accident. Missing 2 days is the start of a new habit, a bad habit. So if you miss Monday, you must do Tuesday, even just 2 minutes.
That is very forgiving. It allows us to be human, but it keeps us on track.
Now, Tom, I want to add a tip number 4 that we didn't mention before. It's about the enemy of consistency.
Who is the enemy?
Perfectionism, the fear of making mistakes.
Ah, yes, the fear that says, I won't speak until I can speak perfectly.
Imagine a baby learning to walk. When the baby falls down, does it think, oh no, I'm so embarrassed. I am not a walker. I quit.
No, the baby laughs, gets up, and tries again.
But as adults, we lose that bravery. We think every mistake is a disaster. If you want to be consistent, you have to be okay with being messy. You have to be okay with bad English.
Bad English. Listeners, write that down. It is okay to speak bad English, because speaking bad English is the only bridge to speaking good English.
Exactly. You cannot teleport to fluency. You have to walk through the messy middle. So embrace the mistakes. Laugh at them. They are proof you're trying.
Those are 4 fantastic tips. Let's review them quickly before we get to our word tour.
The 2-minute rule, just start small.
Habit stacking, connect English to your daily routine.
Don't break the chain. Use a calendar to track your progress.
Kill perfectionism. Be like a baby, fall down and get up.
Perfect summary. Now, speaking of learning, we used some interesting vocabulary today. Let's slow down and look at these words in our word tour.
So, the first word is, of course, the title of our episode, consistency.
Consistency. Noun. It means doing something in the same way over time. It means being reliable. The sun rises every morning. That is consistency. If you study every day at 8 a.m., you have consistency.
Our next phrase was all or nothing.
This is a mindset or a way of thinking. It means you only see 2 options, 100% success or 0% failure. There is no middle ground. We want the middle ground.
Then we talked about willpower.
Willpower is the mental energy you use to force yourself to do something difficult, like resisting a cookie or forcing yourself to go for a run. But remember, willpower is like a battery. It runs out. That is why habits are better than willpower.
Then we use the word friction.
Friction usually means when two things rub together and slow down. In habits, friction means anything that makes it hard to start. If your book is in another room, that is friction. If your guitar is in a case in the closet, that is friction. You want to reduce friction for good habits.
Put the book on your pillow. Put the guitar in the middle of the room.
Exactly. And finally, we use the word momentum.
Momentum. This is a physics word, but we use it in life. It means the force that keeps an object moving. Imagine pushing a heavy car. It is very hard to start moving, but once it's rolling, it is easy to keep it moving. That is momentum.
Consistency builds momentum. After you study for 10 days, day 11 is easy because you have momentum.
That was a great word tour. I feel smarter